In the last episode, we built this monstrosity of a redstone machine. This is a shulker vending machine, and it works great. But before we get into today's adventures, I do want to welcome you into the wonderful world of Everbloom, Paperhats Season 4. I'm Dr. Jankovic, and today we are going to be building something around this shop. Because while the machine and the void pit here looks absolutely amazing, from the surface here it is just a little bit lackluster, so we need to make something epic around it. Since this is a shulker shop and the end dimension is my favorite dimension, obviously it's going to be end themed. In order to do this, we're going to need a few resources, so let's go on over to the end, gather up what we need, but first, let's check the pop-up shop for extra profits. Oh my goodness. 24 diamonds. Look at that. And we got to be sure to flex on all the other paper hats. And unfortunately, there were 6 extra diamonds. We can't make a block out of that, so we'll put a light blue shulker up there. And now that we have our salesman duties out of the way, let's get on with the end. And we're back. All I can say is that was one heck of a resource grind. Also, I was able to load up a creative world and get a cool design together. It's going to be really, really big, very, very impressive for the shopping district. And these are all our supplies over here. We're using many different colors of concrete. We're using a lot of purple blocks to keep the end theme. And we're using over 700 shulkers in here, so I'm really excited to put this together. And you know what that means? Let's roll that time lapse. Now, what did you think about that time lapse? You can probably guess what I'm going to say about it. Of course, I always love making the time lapses. But when I set out to build a shulker shop, I didn't expect it to be this epic. It was just supposed to be a pretty standard shop, but I had a whole lot of fun designing this, and one thing led to another, and now we have this monstrosity of a shulker store. I almost gave up on the idea of an end city boat holding up the top of a shulker with chains, but at the end of the day, I figured, you know what, this is Paper Hats. We're here to grind out some serious projects, and just look at what happened. Although it's not quite done yet, there is a little bit more work I have to do. I need to cover up these frog lights here on the concrete blocks. By the way, these things were a serious pain to gather. Just a whole lot of dyes, a whole lot of converting different types of concrete, that sort of thing. Not to mention here on the end ship, I forgot these ladders here. And last but not least, you may have noticed the biggest flaw in this design. There is absolutely no front door. We have completely sealed off all of our amazing redstone. That looks like a decent enough entrance. I figured since I designed this entire thing in creative, made a schematic, and basically just pasted it into a survival world, I figured I'd improvise on the front door, and look how nice that turned out. I like the black glass to give it some contrast, and I just played around with it, gave it a nice little awning here. It looks very, very good in my opinion. Let me know what you think. I like that little front entrance. And moving on to everybody's least favorite parts. Actually, I know a couple people who enjoy interiors, but that's what we've got to do here. We've got to make this attractive looking. And also, I have to make myself a little bit of a maintenance entrance. Currently, it is such a pain in the neck to actually get into this redstone and check how many diamonds I've made. And not to mention, we have a bit of a mob problem still. I have been informed in my last video by Cremulous that string doesn't actually prevent mob spawning, so we're gonna have to get down there and hide some lights under the redstone. The great news is we're on the home stretch of this build. We are almost done with it. The bad news is we're going to have to clean up this absolutely ginormous shulker monster that we have been creating. But to explain what we did in that montage there, we placed some lights to disable mob spawning at the bottom of this thing. And as far as a maintenance area, I decided to just cover up the sides. Now, that may not look like anything, but that's actually a solid black concrete wall. If we mine out a couple of blocks, we can go back here, do what we need to do, and nobody will ever see a thing. Furthermore, I've given this contraption a different frame. I went with the endstone brick to go with the end theme, and I gave it some frog lights to light it up a little bit. It was a little bit dark in here. Also, I know at least one person on the server here is a little bit colorblind. I can't remember which colors he has trouble seeing, but I decided just to label every single box. The colors look really, really pretty, but this may help out somebody. And of course, since I was removing blocks and such from the actual contraption, I gave it a quick test just to make sure I didn't break anything, and looks like it's still working. Last but not least, I did type up a lectern and a book that people can come in, read, and understand how the shop works. Welcome to the Shulker Store. Thank you for stopping by. Here at the Shulker Store, we know you'll enjoy the finest shulker boxes in Everbloom. Instructions. Number 1, deposit as many diamonds as you would like in the barrel. Careful, only deposit as many as you need shulker boxes. You cannot retrieve unused diamonds. When the light turns on, you're ready to press a button. Number 3, please wait a couple seconds between button presses. Number 4, keep pressing buttons until the light turns off. This means you've run out of diamonds. Number 5, enjoy. Your boxes will be delivered to you via water stream in the floor. If you experience difficulties, please contact Dr. Jankovic directly. And for financial hardship, please go to page 15. On page 15, we say, sorry about your luck, we're not a charity, go mining. Just a helpful piece of advice to the paper hats. And there you have it, we are ready for business. To have the paper hats come in, use the contraption, spend as many diamonds as they would like. And you know what? If this shulker monster stays here for a little while, that's okay too. Honestly, I think we should probably clean up this area a little bit, so I don't know, maybe we spend a few minutes to clean this up. Hey, look guys, it's all clean here. All the shulker monster's gone. It's perfect. Let's change the subject and grab our diamonds from the pop-up shop. Unfortunately, we only have 6 diamond blocks right now, but I have advertised to the other paper hats that the new and improved Shulker store is now open. So I'm hoping that there's quite a few diamonds stored in there that we can make a few more blocks with. Ooh, look at that. We have 15 diamonds down here in the barrel. And with the diamonds from the extra diamond box, we have enough to make 2 more diamond blocks. So we now have 8. I've been torn whether or not I want to use this deck or this deck up here to stack all my diamonds. And honestly, I may turn this deck into a bit of a workshop since it's connected to what I'm going to call our storage down here. So I think I'm going to use this upper deck here to start stacking our diamonds. And look at that. It's a little bit of a janky stack so far, but I'm confident we're going to make a lot of sales. So that stack is going to grow quickly. And you know, I can't lie to you guys, I have a bit of a secret. A moment ago, I called this the storage area. That's right, I think I'm gonna make this where we create shulker boxes, dye them, and have a little workshop for us to restock quickly if need be, but that is right, that's where the shulker monster went. So sometime on stream, this is not video content at all, but sometime on stream, I'm gonna sort through these and get my storage in order. Out of sight, out of mind, right? Now that the shulker store is completed and we have it all squared away, let's switch gears for a little bit. Mr. Gold here on the server, this is his rocket shop right here. He's keeping us all flying around the server at high velocity, and we very much thank him for it. He's had a very, very busy couple of weeks lately, and he said, yeah, it would probably be a big help if I could stock the shop for him. So let's head on over to Mr. Gold's base, get the supplies we need, and we'll dump a whole bunch of rockets in here. And we're on our way back. I've got a complete shulker of sugarcane and gunpowder. He made it very, very easy on us. He's been AFKing at his farms at his base, so we can just quickly grab it. And in case you didn't know, rockets are actually made 3 to 1. So a shulker of gunpowder and a shulker of sugarcane goes a very long way. 1 stack of gunpowder, 1 stack of paper equals 3 stacks of rockets. And from the looks of it, he's got a lot of barrels in here, so hopefully we can make that happen. That wasn't quite enough rockets. He's got so many barrels in here, I figured there would be a lot of stock left, and we wouldn't have to use all that gunpowder and sugarcane we brought, but all that almost just barely stocked this whole side over here. Over here, we have a couple of half-filled barrels, but for the most part, there's still a ton of stock here. And not to be nosy, but he is making bank over here. 40 diamonds just sitting here. And I can tell you, that's not the first time I've seen that many diamonds in that chest. I think Mr. Gold is absolutely stacked this season. Makes me wonder if I should have went into the rocket business. Mr. Gold really is a great friend, so I'm always happy to help him out. And since we have the shulker store all squared away, we've advertised to the other paper hats so people know about it. And I've cleaned up my shulker monster. I think it's time to switch gears once again. Let's head back over to my base. It's been a while, and let's sort of get a list together of what we need to start working on at our base. And while I can't give too much information, there is a certain build competition going up on the server. We have at least 1 episode before that happens, so I want to get some work done on the base before we have to dedicate a lot of time to that. In case you missed my earlier episodes or you're just not caught up, this is my base this season. It's absolutely massive. We have the centerpiece done. None of the interior is done yet, but we have the exterior walls all marked out. To explain what's going on here, the blue concrete are the edges of the walls and paths. Halfway through, I had the sense to make the paths powdered concrete, while making the walls, for the most part, hardened concrete. When I was sick a couple weeks ago, I just sort of grinded out getting some netherite and filling in where the actual walls will be. This is supposed to represent what you won't be able to see. And you may be wondering what the walls will look like. And I can tell you the main building block in these walls will be stone bricks. That's right, we'll be placing, I would say, well over 100,000 stone bricks on this base. It's going to be absolutely massive. And of course, the first challenge I have with that is getting all of the stone. If we pop down this ladder, we've started digging out a cavern here with Dakota May's help. And this is all just under the island. This is all space that we're never gonna look at, so it's free stone for us. I may do some time lapses in the future on video clearing out some of the stone, but it's honestly kind of boring video content. So for the most part, if I do digging content, it'll be over at twitch.tv/Dr. Jankovic. Go follow me there. If you've made it this far in the video, I really commend you. Thank you so much for the support. This video is a little bit shorter than I thought it would be, but it's a pretty good length. And unfortunately, that is all the time I have left for this episode. Guys, if you like what you see, please do hit the like button, and if you want to see more, please do subscribe so you get notified every time I upload a new video. Guys, thank you so much for being here. I will see you in episode 11 of Paperhats Season 4.